was weird. Hopefully you guys see me back. Should be back. Oh. We are back. Hey, it's fiery. Hey, Caleb. Hey guys, yep, I'm back. So, computer blue screen to death on me. Man, I definitely need a new computer. Spent all my I spent all of my money in investing my setup for work, and next up is actually upgrading my computer. Computer hasn't been upgraded in years, probably been almost 5 years at this point that I've upgraded my computer anyway. Maybe it's been like 7 years. It's been a long time. Computer is old. Nobody important. My computer crashed. So, yep. One of these days I'll spend a few $100 to get a better computer. So I don't think computers are even that expensive anymore. I feel like you can get a really nice computer for like $700. Which is not bad. Let's see if we can get this last 940,000 points. Let's do a hyper focus here. Oops. Am I liking this season? Yeah, this season's fun. Honestly, it's hard to beat last season. Last season was pretty awesome, in my opinion. I had so much fun with that. I can't wait for Supernatural Investigations to be launched. For those of you who haven't played it yet, to be able to play it. So it's a really fun ride. Oh great. I hope the 1 week thing isn't back. I really enjoy getting a week off of waking up at 3:30 in the morning. World Edition, best season ever? Conspiracy is probably mine. World Edition was good. World Edition was good. I'm not denying that. But I think for me, Conspiracy was probably the best. But to me, honestly, they probably have about like this is season 8, right? I think this is season 8. I think that for me, they have like a top 4 and then like a bottom 4. But, you know. Conspiracy, Mysteries of the Past, and SI. No, I think mine would be Conspiracy, Supernatural Investigations, and maybe World Edition, I think. I think those would probably be my top 3. But obviously everybody likes, you know, different ones. But yeah, I think conspiracy, supernatural investigations, and World Edition. I think those are probably my top 3. I think so. Conspiracy to me was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, season 1. Meanwhile, when you're on it, it's good. It'll set you up for the rest of the seasons. But it was probably one of the weaker ones. So if you're enjoying it, that's great, because basically it only gets better. So, and that's something to look forward to. Is that if you enjoyed Grimsboro, it's only gonna get better. Because honestly, Grimsboro might be their weakest season, which is their first one. I mean, they've learned a lot. And honestly, once you get to university, which is like 20 or 30 cases in, it starts to really pick up and get better. To me, the first 10, 20 cases are not as great. You know, university in Grimsboro is where it picks up. The color's more vibrant. They're like, it's so dark and dreary with their first ones. And that's the fun thing, is that everybody kind of has their own favorite seasons. Yep. I think the consensus for a lot of people that have played through everything is university was the turning point. So I can't remember if university is 20 cases in or 30 cases in on a criminal case, but man, once you get there, it gets so good. Oh, Ismail, if season 1 isn't the worst, which one's the worst? Because I like all the other seasons. I feel like it got better. It's 30 cases. Okay. I thought so. I thought it was 30 cases in. Yeah, because it was 10 cases per district. They didn't tie themselves together as well. These 30 cases for each season are good. I think that's probably why conspiracy to me will hold a special place in my heart, because it was the last 61 cases that they did, so you really got to know your teammates, and obviously there was a lot of death, betrayal, different stuff in that, and so it all hit really hard. I think they are sticking to their 30 cases in a season. Seems to be a good way for them to churn out new content and stuff. And honestly, if they get supernatural investigations out, um, that means they'll have gotten it out before case 10 wraps up, which I feel like is pretty good in terms of turnaround. Hopefully, they get to a point where the mobile app gets released at the same time as the web. That would be cool, because then I could have you all play along with me. Yeah, travel in time I think would have been a lot better if they knew who we were and we could make that connection across multiple um, cases, seasons. I think it would have been a lot better. Alright, see, this is what I like. I like getting all these stars. Yes, it's taken like 45 minutes to an hour, but after this, we really don't need to collect any more stars. We'll probably only have about 15 minutes of star collection left after we get this one done. I think probably one of the most hardest hitting deaths for me was Michelle Zuria. I think that was her name in World Edition. That one was rough for me. I was enjoying her so much as a part of our team. That was just so rough. Yeah, it's crazy to think that Michelle's been over 4 years. Missing something. What am I missing at this point? Oh, the tree. missing something again. Oh, the crowbar. Rain and John for sure. They were a good ship. Oh, duh, the big coffin in the middle of the screen, that's what I'm missing. Oh gosh, grenades here, that's not safe. Nobody knows I play criminal case in my real life, realistically. I mean, my close family does, but friends don't know that I play it, stuff like that. And I don't have a Facebook. The Facebook that I use for this is just a gaming profile. Not really touched. Don't really have any people that I've met in real life associated with it. I'm just not big on social media. Talking to the missus the other day, and I don't even really read the news that much because I like to have positivity in my life. And so both Facebook, social media platforms, and the news, all they do is feed off of negativity, and like this crazy ideal of what the world should be like and stuff. And I just don't need that in my life. Just need positivity. So no one's going to be giving me positivity. No need for me to engage in that sort of thing. Oh great, I'm missing one thing. Shake for me. Oh, binoculars. Okay. No, never recognized in public. I think this whole time I've been doing this, I think there was maybe one person that was in even the same state that I was in that chatted. And I forget his name. But yeah, I don't. Now this, if I was somewhere else, like if I was in the Philippines, because I know we got a huge amount of people here that are in the Philippines. If I was somewhere there, or I even traveled there, which would be really fun to travel there sometime, I would bet that I would run into some of you guys. India as well. I know there's a lot of people here that chat. They're from India. India would be fun to go to as well. Those would be the two places I would imagine I would get noticed potentially. Boom, nice. Now we get to start this. Hey, Mark, is it? Alright, folks, watching Ace 88. Let's get back into it. I grabbed a lot of stars, had my computer crash on me, and we are going to do this. And we're doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10 dual commandments. This file lasts as long as we captured Jem Mamwe. I wonder how our license ended up in the victim's private suite. Let's see what Captain Mamwe has to say about the murder taking place on our flight. Oh, what dear. Okay, so he's named Person of the Year. And who defaced this? Oh, really? Wait a minute. Nobody's defaced this? Remember those flakes revealed that someone drew a cape. Oh, they drew a caper on the victim on this magazine cover, Ace. Clearly, someone on this flight was a fan of Mr. Udoka. Putting those flakes on the microscope might tell us who our mystery artist is. That's interesting. Twad Jiku. T1 Jiku. The name of this cocktail shaker is T1 Jiku. This T1 Jiku must be the flight attendant who worked at the bar. Let's see if they know anything about the murder. Sweet. Looking good, Wonky too. Looking good. Some fancy people on this plane. Uh-oh. What have I done? There's a note hidden among those cushions that says, "What have I done?" There's a blood spatter next to it. The killer might have written this note that we better get to the High Commissioner for analysis. Okay, she's a bartender from Conspiracy. Yeah, she may be back, but how much do you want to bet she doesn't recognize us? This flake goes from magazine cover are pencil shavings Ace, more specifically, shavings from special crayons designed for Tron Comics. We met at Mizuna National with a penchant for Tron Comics during our investigation of Marguerite d'Anjou's murder of Prince Amado. Better go check whether Prince Amado was among the passengers, Ace. Yeah, ain't got a lot of people to talk to. What's up, Captain? What's this all about, officers? My passengers and I have been detained, but nobody will tell me what's going on. There's been a murder on your flight, Captain. Mr. Chidi Udoka is dead. Wait, Mr. Udoka is dead? This is terrible. The man has a household name back home in Mizundo, and he died on my flight? Yeah, it doesn't look good for you. Management is going to be furious. Mr. Udoka is one of Air Mizundo's most frequent flyers. It was his first time flying with me, too. He seemed like a nice man. He even took the time to visit the cockpit and introduce himself. We found your pilot license in his private suite. How did it end up there? I must have dropped it while I was inspecting the plane before the flight. Now, if you excuse me, I have to let management go. There's more to that story. For sure. Definitely more to that story. But we'll let you go for now. Miss Wanjiku, were you or Mr. Doka's traveling on your flight? Of course. Memorize the passenger manifest before each flight. Passengers love being addressed by name. It's a tip I picked up back when I was a bartender in the U.S. Always learn who your regulars are. Okay, so you're going to call back to being in the U.S., but you don't remember us. Fortunately, Mr. Doka assumed that me knowing who he was meant that he could jump the queue and get served first. But I don't stand for any nonsense, Secret Agent. I told him that I treat all passengers equally, and that he'd have to wait for his glass of champagne. Well, Miss Wanjiku, what would you say if we told you that Mr. Udoka was murdered with that glass mid-flight? Murdered? Say I know nothing about it. Thank you for your time, Miss Wanjiku. We may have more questions for you later. I was going to say Cedric got 4 suspects in the first chapter. That's quite a lot, I feel like. Hey, Secret Agent, it's fancy running into you here. You're off on vacation? Me, I'm bringing in Paris for good. I got accepted to college and everything. Actually investigating the murder of Chidi Udoka. We believe he was on your flight. Holy cow, Mr. Udoka is dead. You knew the victim? Sure, everyone in Mizuno has heard of Mr. Udoka. If I weren't a prince, I'd love to become a hotshot businessman like him. If I see him on the flight, I would have introduced myself, but I have my nose buried in a textbook. Hello there, I'm racking my brain for ideas for a present for Gothier's birthday tomorrow. You got any questions? I did overhear him say that he had an eye on a fancy new filing cabinet. I won't buy him anything in the store. The point is to learn that there's life outside of work. Anyway, suppose you want to hear about that note you sent me, eh? First things first, Enzo confirmed that the blood was your victim's, which means the note was written by your killer. They clearly feel remorseful for their crimes. Fortunately, the handwriting was too wobbly for me to ascertain anything about the personality, but it is a sign that they weren't feeling well when they wrote it. And I know why. The note was written on an airsick bag. Your killer must be a sufferer. Well, there's no chance our killer would suffer from air sickness in prison. You're right. So the victim's daughter said she had air sickness during the flight. I refuse to believe she would be responsible for such a crime, but I'll add it to her profile. Yeah, you don't have some child-possessed person with demons like you did in Supernatural Investigations. I have a hard time believing it's her. And even like Julian, and all like the younger kids, when they did it, they didn't kill by smashing glass, and they did it from like a gun or something. Ace, I've been thinking, is it crazy how we spend all our lives working for money without knowing if we'll live long enough to spend our savings? Thanks to Paris rental prices, I haven't got any savings. But let's talk about our victim. What can you tell us about the murder? Well, Ace's assessment the victim was killed by puncture wound to the eye was correct. After closer examination of the glass lodged in his eye, I can confirm that it was a broken champagne flute, and that's your murder weapon, Ace. What's more, on the stem of the glass found traces of groundnut catfish moth, traditional fish and peanut curry from Azunda. Since I've discovered that your victim famously claimed in an interview that he'd never eat such peasant food, it must be your killer who eats Mazunda mafe. Okay, that's good. They bit off more than they can chew. Alright, give me a little summary. Look, there's a murder plane. Oh my gosh, these people look very familiar, like their models were very much familiar. That looks like a cross between like Ramirez and like a oh, you know what that looks like? It looks like who's the guy in Pacific Bay? Frank. It's a little bit like Frank. Maybe Frank DuPont a little bit. We can actually roll on right to chapter 2. Let's do that. Yep. Paparazzi. This is an active crime scene. You better leave right now or I'll look you off for trespassing. Alright, well now that that's all sorted, we should take a look around outside the plane. Are they the paparazzis from Travel in Time? That'd be funny. That sure looked familiar. Alright, funnel, crane, photo. Briefcase. I guess that's locked device, yep. And then the piano is the one that's standing straight up. Yeah, what is this weird device, Ace? I don't know. Maybe cracking the code will shed some light on what it does. And the guy in the piano and the photo was presumably on the flight. The signature's illegible. See if we can find a match for this man in the PPS database. That's not it for sure. It's this one then. Yeah. I think this device is unlocked, but I'm not clear as to what it does. I bet Emil can figure it out. Let's get the device to him. I feel like we haven't seen Emil for a case or two. $36 to finish, and I think like 37 for to get to the next case. This guy in the photo is called Kasongo Badu. According to our data, he's a reality TV star in Mazumba. Mr. Badu was on the flight. He might have crossed paths with our victim. Let's question him. Ever since Emil met the chief's or the captain's wife. Did you manage to figure out what this device is, Emil? I certainly did. It's a cockpit voice recorder. Every plane is fitted with one, as well as a black box. You'll never guess what it captured. Listen to this. Women can't fly planes. Move out of the way and let me take over. Mr. Dogu, you can. And it's followed by the sound of a struggle. Well, it's Captain Boy's voice. Hey, sounds like she got in some kind of altercation with the victim. We need to ask her why she failed to mention this earlier. A woman can't fly a plane. Oh dear. Please don't photo starlings. The flight can be terrible under eye bags, not to mention I'm so queasy with air sickness. I nearly threw up in my mouth. Actually, we're police officers. Oh, the police. What am I being charged with? Being too fabulous? Mr. Badu, please. We're investigating a murder. A man named Chidu Udoko was killed on your flight. Wait, Chidi is dead? Oh, honey, that is terrible. So you knew the victim. When you reach the dizzy heights of stardom like I have, everybody knows everybody. But excuse me, do I need to post about this on social media, like, right now? Captain Mobway, you said earlier that the victim seemed like a nice guy, but the argument in his cockpit voice report suggests otherwise. Oh, great. How did you find that secret? He answered. I removed it from the cockpit. I suppose I better tell you the truth. Mr. Udoka didn't just visit the cockpit to introduce himself. The man came to tell me that women shouldn't be pilots and tried to wrestle control of the plane from me. Mr. Udoka could have killed everyone on board if I hadn't stopped him, and I would have gone down in history as the woman who killed Prince Hamadu. Thankfully, I managed to hold him off, but he snatched my pilot license and broke it. The man was a sexist pig. I'm glad he's dead. I'm sorry I had to go through that, Captain. We just hope that you didn't take your revenge out by killing him. So you're James, what do you say we take a look around the plane bar for clues? Sure. Whatever you say. Cherries, popcorn, whole bottle. Oh, there's the popcorn. And the broken line. Perfect. And cupcake, yep. Not surprised I can find a cupcake very quickly on this. Well spotted, Ace. These pills are for air sickness. We know our killers to suffer. Could these pills be there? Just quickly sample the fire version and tell us. How do you think this lock ended up broken? Only one way to find out. Let's put the locket back together. Ah, there we go. That took a while. Let's lock it back together, but the inscription's faded. Can you recover the writing? I'm sure I can try. Yes, some of those fibers up the killer's air sickness pills, Ace, but I have to send them to Enzo. I think he feels pretty awkward after our awful date. Well, there goes, Ace. Let's get the fibers to Enzo. So, why are the victims always mean? I think the better question is, I think Pretty Simple is trying to tell us something, which is, don't be a jerk, you could get killed. Just be nice to everybody, and you'll never get killed. And so how's it going? Great. Good. Why do you ask? No reason. Did you take a look at those fibers I sent you from the killer's air sickness pills? Oh yeah, pills. I found traces of moth on the fibers, confirming that they come from your killer. At first I couldn't figure out why the fibers were so sketchy, but then it dawned on me the fibers are from flight socks, the kind you wear to avoid getting deep vein thrombosis during long flights. Ace, you're looking for the killer sporting a pair of flight socks. Or a killer will soon be pairing their flight socks with an orange jumpsuit. And you're right, both flight attendant Tamo Wanjiku and pilot Captain Mamba spend a lot of time in the air. They must wear flight socks. It's true. Somehow I think it's the captain. If I had to put my money on it right now, that's what I would put my money on. Description reads to her darling daughter Grace. Mommy and Daddy will always love you. Well, the word Daddy has been scratched out. Why would Grace scratch her dad's name out, Ace? Yeah, we need to question Grace again. Uh-oh. Is he not really your dad? Grace, you found this look of yours. How did it get all scratched up? I did. I was angry with Daddy. I don't want him to know it. Well, what did he do? Daddy made Mommy leave us. He's been kissing other ladies, and Mommy found out. And now Daddy's dead, and I'm all alone in the world, said Grace. I want Mommy back. Nobody else takes care of me like she does, or makes Mom just the way I like it. All of our officers look into your mom's whereabouts, Grace, but in the meantime, Brigadier Bonnet will continue looking after you. Yep. Why is the plane moving? Ace, are we taking off? Oh, brother. Alright, see ya. See ya. Anyways, I gotta grab some stars, not many, just a couple stars, and I'll see you guys right back here. Pitching a TD? Or what? Alright, just gotta get these 10 stars, and we should be good to go. Yeah, let's go to Mazunda. Yeah, Bonnie, I think that would be nice. It'd be nice to have more people on the stream. Man, Joe, naps are some of the most fun things to do. So on the weekends, I try and get naps, and when I get naps, it's so nice. If I didn't have kids, I would take naps. If my kids took naps, when they took naps, I took naps. No, you're not. You're not. And Bonnie last week, I added a whole bunch more mods, so may not be always chatting, but I know that there are some people now that can help me out when you guys aren't on. Yeah, I woke up at 3:30, man. Where's this gas mask? There it is. No, Addie was on a few cases back. No more babies? No, we're not getting another kid. No way. No way. 2 is plenty. Well, Melody, if you and your boyfriend are on a break, he's probably not the one for you. And there's more fish in the sea. I mean, I could also have a very warped perception as well. Because I was never in a relationship more than like 2 months. I think I had one relationship that was more than 2 months, my whole life, up until I met my wife. So I usually found out within the first couple months if we were in it for the long haul. Yep. I hear you, Melody. But again, at the same time, again, and I told other people this as well, like friends and stuff, is at the end of the day, um, you gotta make these decisions, make them quick, make it so that you're not wasting your time. So again, if that's something on his end, he needs to resolve it quickly. If he's not willing to, move on. Because if this is a problem now, wait 10 years. Again, like if you're having any issues now, when you're married, things do not get easier. So if you guys can't sort through things quickly through, discussions and open communication, you're not gonna last when it gets to a marriage. So But if you can talk and work it out and get things resolved quickly, then you should be fine. I don't know how you get seasick. I don't really get seasick when I do it. Yeah. Oh. I never had any girlfriends, if you want to call it that. I dated a lot. But again, never over 2 months. I would always get a lot of the conversations out of the way. And I would hit them with really, like, long-term questions, because I was not about beating around the bush. I also got a lot of them to dump me, and also got me to dump a lot of them. Like, oh, you're so forward. I'm like, yeah, sorry. I need to know if you can do these. I need to know if all of these things are in alignment, that we are in alignment as individuals, and if we're not, no point in us continuing this. No matter how much I think you're attractive or we're having, you know, a good time. It's like, I'm not here for that. So help me make a decision. Yeah. Well, hey, for those of you guys that are single, perfect opportunity to work on yourself. Get healthy, start going on walks, runs, just something to get out of the house and get into some sort of rhythm, make yourself feel better, and get yourself in the right place. Once you get yourself in the right place, you'll be amazed at what opportunities come your way. 100%. May take time, you know, but if you work on yourself, it will come to fruition for sure, for sure. I can't tell you when I got healthier and when I dropped like 20 pounds, which isn't much considering I went from, like, you know, 215 to 195, which is not really that much, but just doing that, man, I felt better. I was starting to get more attention and stuff. I mean, it's great. Hey, Turnip. Oh yeah, Bonnie, you and your boyfriend have been together for a while, haven't you? It's probably been well over a year at this point. Oh, yeah, I gotta watch some of this stuff with my little sister. Not really little anymore. She's like 21, but back then she was little. That was fun times. I remember that. Why did I see a cocktail anywhere? Oh, it's way back up here. Yeah, I know. You only met him in February, Bonnie? Dang. And with this COVID stuff, it makes it feel like it's been a while. Rafael, it was just game one. It was just game one. But they did look very good in game one. Oh, sweet, we get to go to part 3. Alright folks, for GNCD, we are back on chapter number 3 where we are taking off. Seriously, are you okay? What happened? I thought we were taking off. He started towing the plane away. I managed to stop him just in time. Thank you, Brigadier Bonnet. Guess that's our cue to speed up the investigation, eh? So let's take another look at the victim suite. Are you serious? Just jetting someone around isn't going to be crazy. I think the Lakers might be in 5, honestly. I can see the Heat getting a game, but I see the Lakers putting the pedal to the metal. They can relax them. I think they'll relax in one game, but I don't see that being like I don't see them losing. Could happen though. Just the last game did not look good. Oh, we got our star. All good. Ace's folder clearly belongs to the victim. Maybe there's something juicy hidden inside. Can you get the folder unlocked? Something's written on this paper codes to recover the faded task. Now let's put these metal pieces back together. We're closing in on whoever killed Chideo Doka. Can't stop now. Ooh. This Jonas Coaster says, Tamu, humiliate me again and your family will pay for it. And it's signed by C. That must be Chidi, our victim. I wonder why Miss Wanjiku didn't mention the victim threatened her earlier. Let's ask her. Well, you already kind of know a little bit. But yeah, as was kind of stated before, if you're not a good person, pretty simple, likes to kill you. So I think one of the best things that you can learn by playing criminal case is that be a good person. Be a good person, you'll live longer. Always check out this crown. There's only one member of the royalty on this flight, Prince Amado. But how come the crown and a broken like in the victim's suite? Better see what Prince Amado has been hiding from us, Ace. Oh yeah, why? For sure would have people. We're trying to do that, but not as many people have been on or available to do it. Plus, it's requiring me to get on very early and wake up really early. 1, 2, no, 1, 2, 9, 9, 1. It is required me to get really early, and with my work schedule right now, it is insane in the membrane. Like, I've even been considering not doing criminal case at this point because work is nuts. I mean, I say that all the time, but you just keep thinking that it's not more work, and it keeps being more work. Hey, she got the victim's folder open. It's full of room with papers. Let's see if we can find anything in one of the documents. I mean, I love it. It's great. I love being busy. Can't be unhappy about that. I love it. Why didn't you tell us the victim threatened you? Because I was afraid you think I kill him. Well, yeah, but actually, to be fair, I think the captain did it. Look, Secret Agent, being a flight attendant isn't glamorous. I had to learn to manage my air sickness as well as how to scarf down a plate of hot moth between serving customers. But the worst part is dealing with passengers like Mr. Udoka. They think the world revolves around them and that the rest of us exist to serve. He couldn't stand me telling him to wait his turn, so he slipped me that message threatening my family as I was refilling his champagne. And he could have done it, Secret Agent Ace. He was so powerful that he could have had my family killed before we even landed. We just hope that you didn't decide that your only resource was to kill Udoka before he could hurt your loved ones, Miss Wanjiku. Yeah, Joe, hit me up on Discord. We'll find a time for you to hop on. Probably not this month because I'm like double timing it at work, but maybe November. Maybe November I'll open up some of my time. Ace, you know if we'll be free to go soon? I'm kind of getting hungry. That moth I ate during the flight just didn't fill me up. Not until we find Mr. Doka's killer, so how about you tell us about your crown ended up being broken in his suite? Oh, you found that, did you? I lied about seeing Mr. Udoka on the flight. I heard he was on board, so I swung by to introduce myself. I'd be happy to meet a prince, so I took my crown and show him. But instead he started telling me how he planned to use his riches to lobby for the abolition of monarchy. My family are already barely more than figureheads, Secret Agent, so Mr. Udoka wanted to take away our money and palaces, too. Maybe it was the air sickness or the fact that my flight socks were itchy, but I forgot my royal manners. I told Mr. Udoka what I thought of him, and that's when he ducked my crown clean off my head. Well, being royal won't save you from doing jail time if we discover that you killed him. This is true. Oh, Bonnie, you want to do something like Kian did, where he hopped on and did this for a little bit. Ace, are you more of an espresso fan or a latte lover? I'm a latte girl myself. I don't know how we French people can drink black coffee. It's so gross. I drank a latte once. It didn't sit well with my delicate constitution. Oh dear. But anyway, by the coffee talk. Let's look what I found in the victim's folder. A mock-up advertising campaign for the Mazunda Coffee Company's new ready-to-drink latte starring Kasongo Badu dressed in a cow costume. So that looks ridiculous. And look, the song is written. I'm not doing this, Cheaty. Mr. Badu failed to mention that he worked for the victim when we questioned him earlier. I say it's high time we had to chat with him. Hey, Addie. Alright, we'll talk about money. Mr. Beckett, why didn't you tell us that you were the face of the victim's company? All Mizuno wants this face on their prosecutor case. I didn't see the point of mentioning it. You didn't think it was worth telling us that you had a disagreement with Mr. Odoko over his latest advertising campaign? Oh, well, now that you bring it up, I must confess that she and I did have a bit of a spat. His new advertising campaign was completely ridiculous, darling. He wanted me to dress up as a cow. I'm a sex symbol, secret agent. I can't be seen dressed up as a cattle. But she said that if I refused to model in the cow suit, he'd edit my face onto the advertisement anyway. Her reputation would have been in tatters, honey. It would have been a bitter faux pas than being seen wearing flight socks with sandals. Probably true. Yep. Like any of our victims, they seem like they're jerks. So, Rajit, I'm from India. Yep. Yep. In about an hour and a half, I'll be syncing up with my team from India. Got a team of about, like, at this point, it's like 12 people. The team's over. Two-wheeled vehicle. This is trash bag, bubble wrap. Fire extinguisher. Sock box. I don't think that means. Still don't know. I see that's down there. Okay. What the hell? The logs right there. Yeah, maybe I forget the other place. I gotta remember where the other place is, but we have them in Mumbai, and then that's like the main hub, and then there's some that are scattered around. Ace is a box of flight socks. Do you know what killer wears? Does this belong to them? The box is empty, but collecting a sample of substance might give us a lead. This bag of trash must be from the flight. Let's roll up our sleeves and see what's inside. One last push. No one that I work with knows that I do this. I would never tell them. I have a different brand at work. I'm not professional in this. There I'm a lot more professional. So, all right, we're gonna get that substance from the flight sock box, and so let's just hope it's a little less awkward this time. I agree. The chapter art is a little brutal. Oh, there it is. Nice job, Ace. That guy's found the trash might be the other half of the rumor weapon. Could that blow in the glass belong to the killer? Enzo will tell us. Ace, I know time is of the essence, so I'll be quick. The blow in the champagne flute did belong to the killer. They must have cut themselves while they broke the glasses out of your victim. What did you manage ID? DNA samples contaminated by the other contents of the trash bag. But I can tell you one thing, your killer's blood type is O positive. Alright, I got an O positive feeling about catching this killer, Ace. Well, so first of all, Addy, I'm not a boss. I'm not even a manager yet. At the end of this year, I'll be going for manager, but no, I don't need that. Ace, have you ever thought about changing up your look, like shaving your head, for example? I can't say that I have. Why do you ask? Because the substance was special shampoo for people with shaved heads. Oh, is it Wanjiku? Oh my goodness. Oh snap. I didn't think it was her. I mean, I can't imagine it's this guy. It's not her. It's him? Oh, wow. I did not get that at all. I did not think it would be him at all. Mr. Badger, you got arrested for the murder of Chidi Udoka. What do you have to say for yourselves? You must be a few crumbs short of a biscuit, honey. Nice try. We know you smashed Mr. Udoka's champagne flute, cutting yourself in the process. Then you plunged the stem of the eyeglass into his eye, killing him instantly. You disposed of the other half of the glass in the trash, then went to the bar where you wrote a note expressing remorse for your actions. I'm sorry for what I did. I just lashed out. So you admit to killing Mr. Udoka. Surely you didn't commit such a vicious crime out of fear of being ridiculed. No, I killed him because you refused to acknowledge me as his son. Oh, wait, his son? You mean the victim was your father? I only found out myself recently. My mother always told me my dad died before I was born. But a few weeks ago, she decided to tell me the truth. My mother had an affair with Chidi and got pregnant with me. Chidi had no idea. My mother said it was better this way. I spent my whole life wishing for a father figure to create genetics. I couldn't let an opportunity like that slip through my fingers. When I realized that Chidi was on the same flight as me, I seized my chance. I told him who I was and had love for us to have a father-son relationship. But he replied that he never acknowledged a gay man as his son. I just lost his secret genetics. I saw red, and the next thing I knew, he was dead. Yep, nobody should be rejected because of their sexuality, but murder wasn't the answer. I'm afraid you're under arrest. I'm going to guess 13 years. 13 years. Mr. Batty, you stand before this court accused of the murder of your father. How do you plead? Guilty as sin, Your Honor. I killed him, and now I'll never know what it's like to have a father. Yes, I see that you lashed out after being revealed your identity. Your father rejected you for being gay. Like these mitigating a sentence, you custodial sentence. I'm so close. It's 2 years off. 2 years. 2 years. All right. Custodial sentencing of 15 years makes way more sense. I deserve it, Your Honor. I just hope the orange jumpsuit won't be unflattering. What a tragic end to the investigation. But instead, he's dead and Mr. Bad is in prison. Here I was thinking my family was complicated. Speaking of families, Grace's mom is coming out to pick her up. I just hope the poor girl recovers from her earlier ordeal. Anyway, it's time to turn our attention back to the animal smuggling ring. Might have been a little too late to intercept the animal on flight, but I wager that my still find some clues where they were taken. It's time to get back to work, Ace. Hey, sometimes I feel like you knew the answer coming into it. Nah, it's 15. I mean, that was very close. So anyways, we have enough stars to continue on. Let's do that. Ace, Sungo Badu behind bars for Chidi's murder. You can turn our attention back to the smuggling ring. That's true. Captain may have seen something. Let's go speak to her. Before you go, I've just had the King Abioe of Mizuna on the phone. The king is an old pal of mine. He's asked me to check on Prince Amado. Apparently he's in some kind of trouble. Let's see which one we want to do. Security agents, now that Mr. Udoka's murder investigation all wrapped up, I'm clear to fly back to Mizundo. Not just yet. What he does with the cargo on your flight? That's not my domain. I worry about getting the plane from point A to point B, not what's on board. You wouldn't know anything about animals being smuggled on your plane? Heavens no, but now that you mention it, the cargo was unloaded unusually fast before the passengers even disembarked. I guess that exonerates the passenger secret agents. Maybe now look around the cargo hold shed some light on where those animals went. I went on like a 5.5 mile jog the other day. It was like Tuesday. I did Tuesday morning. I'm just now getting sore. I was not sore yesterday, but I was sore today. So crazy how that happens. Hey, still only looks out of place with a lot of pieces. Can you put them back together again? Oh yeah, 5. Well, usually, so about 3 days a week, 3 to 4 days a week, I go for a jog with the dog, with Archie, our dog, and usually 1 day a week at least. I try and go for 5.5 miles. So I get up at like 4:45, and I'm usually back home in time to wake up the kids at 6:15. Yeah, I live in Arizona. The weather's great, especially that early in the morning. It's fantastic. All right. Well, this is obviously a muzzle. This is a muzzle you've been putting back together, Ace. This muzzle is used on the smuggling animals. We need to get to the lab quickly. Yep. Meow, tell us the muzzle we found on the plane gave you a lid on the animal smuggling. You won't be disappointed, Gary. The muzzle has serial number on the inside, man. And I managed to trace the serial number back to the retailer, and they had the buyer detail on files. Who bought the muzzle? Muzzle was delivered to Cirque de Etoiles, a circus in Montmartre. Circus? Well, that's perfect for an animal smuggling racket. Ace, looks like our next stop is Circus de Etoiles. I'll bring the others, meet you back at the office. Well, that was quick. Yeah, so waking up at 5 a.m., no problem for me, but 3:30, man, that extra hour and a half sucks. Your father tells you you require assistance, Votre test royale. Everything's gone wrong, security chase. The university I'm supposed to attend to is saying they'll no longer accept me because of security concerns. They'll only take me if I bring a bodyguard. It's going to totally cramp my style. En contraire, a bodyguard will add an air of mystery. The ladies will love it. Well, if you say so, but I don't even know where to find one. My dad gave me a tablet full of useful contacts before I left, but he's so useless with technology. They managed to erase all the names. Well, where's that tablet now? I left it in the plane bar. Could you go grab it for me, Superior Jennings? I'll pay you. Sure, man. Yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. is no problem for me. Waking up at 3 a.m.? That's rough. That's rough for me. Alright, there's that. He sends me the tablet prints on his father gave him. Mentioned me to rescue discard tablets like late used tissues. We get the tablet unlocked. We're trying to find a bodyguard for the prince. Yeah, and whoever knows French, what does that actually mean? The circus de whatever that thing was. Circus of something. Where's the A? That's gotta be it. It's gotta be an E. D, maybe? Yeah. It's gonna be N U1I, I think. U1I. U1Y. Prince Emmanuel wasn't kidding when he said that none of these numbers have names attached to them. Hopefully Bill will be able to figure out if any of these numbers are for a bodyguard. Hey, I swear, anyone over the age of 40 just shouldn't be trusted with technology. Excuse me, young man, I'm rather handy with an eye peach. You mean an eye pair? Anyway, there was no way I could retrieve the names associated with this fundamental task, so I had to call them one by one. There were chauffeurs, sommeliers, even personal shoppers. Finally, I stumbled upon a bodyguard, Willem Nederwacht. He used to be the king of Oya's personal bodyguard. According to our records, he now lives in Paris. And this Mr. Nederwacht must be the man we need to speak to today, so let's go ask him if he'll protect Prince Amado. Yeah, he seems familiar. What's this about, officers? Mr. Nederwacht, we are here to ask because we know you used to work for King Aboyoe of Mazunda. Correct. Though King Aboyoe was only a prince back then, we sure had some adventures together, His Royal Highness and I. That's right. Yep. But retired not long after I took a bullet for him in South Africa. Some crazy organization called Sombra tried to assassinate him, if you can believe it. We know. We were there. We were hoping you might cut your retirement short. King Aboyoe's son, Prince Amadou, is studying here in Paris and he's in need of a bodyguard. Prince Amadou is here in France? I haven't seen that little rascal since he was 14. I'd be delighted to look after him. There's just one thing. There's some anti-monarchs here who might wish the prince harm. Chidi Odoku was in contact with them. Could you obtain his agenda for me, Secret Agent Ace? I'm sure we can do that. We'll search the victim suite, but not before we had a bite to eat. Interesting. Yeah. Remember, if people spoil more, again, it happens. Just ban them for life. They actually said Sombra too. That was impressive. If you can find Mr. Doko's agenda in that overhead locker, let's take a look. There we go. Here's his agenda. Excellent work, Ace. These are the victim's initials on the agenda you found in the overhead locker. All we need to do is get this agenda to Mr. Nederwacht and reunite him with Prince Amadou, which we'll do, and then my guess is we're heading off to the circus after this. Mr. Nero, here's the agenda you asked for, plus a certain Prince Amadou. Willem, it's good to see you. Prince Amadou, my boy. You've grown since I last saw you. You're almost as tall as your father. This is going to be so cool. We can be on a wingman when I'm chatting with the ladies at uni. Well, I think our work here is done, Secret Agent Ace. Hold up, Secret Agent Ace. I want to give you this. I bought it for college, but I'm sure you'll put it to good use. It's not often us French find ourselves running around after royalty, but I'm happy I've been able to do an old friend a favor. Prince Amadou should be safe in the hands of his father's former bodyguard. There's been a development on our end too. We found a muzzle that might have been used in the animal smuggling. According to me, it belongs to a circus in Montmartre. Well then, you know where you're headed next, Ace, to the Circus de Etoiles. Sweet. Well, folks, thank you all for coming along on this. I will see you guys next week, or in 2 weeks, where we finish off the last case of attraction. Yep, 2 weeks. So I'll see you guys then. This is Pitching 8. Over and out.